welcome to another day. Wait, another week. What do I say?
Another episode.
Take 2. Okay, sorry. Hi guys, welcome back to another week of Another in the Fire. Thank you guys for joining us again for another episode. And
Another week with us.
Another week with us.
And then
drum roll.
Crystal.
You guys requested it. I know last
we
episode,
heard from y'all.
Yes.
The people want to know.
So, if you guys don't know, this is Crystal. This is her second episode here with us, you guys. If you guys haven't watched the first episode, y'all need to go watch it. Pause this. Go watch the first episode and then come back and watch this one because it'll make more sense. So if you guys don't remember, the people that requested this episode will...
Granny.
Shout out to Granny.
We're giving the people what they want.
Granny spoke on behalf of the people.
So we got that episode did really good. We got good feedback on it and they wanted to know because when we ended the episode, I was even like...
It was a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I didn't, and it wasn't intended to be a cliffhanger. It just happened. I don't know.
Yeah. So
she just said something.
Continue the story.
Yes. So, let's get started. Okay.
Let's get it.
So, when we ended the first episode, Crystal, you have said you went to prison. So, we're going to...
threw that bomb on us like nothing.
So, the road that led you to prison.
If I tell y'all, I gotta kill y'all. I'm just playing. I'm just
Y'all don't hear from us.
I'm just playing.
And this is the end of the road.
So, Crystal, tell us. I know last episode that when we were ending it, you had mentioned that you went to prison. Even I was surprised. I'm like, wait, what? You went to prison?
I was too. I was like,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so tell us about that. Let's start there.
So
in the first episode, let's summarize first. Do we want to summarize?
Yeah. She was young and in domestic violence relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
from 13 to 21.
And she had 3 kids. She escaped.
I did.
Yeah. And then from that point on, where did your life go after you left him?
So we're going to rewind back to being 18 years old. So between the abuse, I was like going back and forth. And my background was selling drugs since middle school all the way on up. That's how I made money. Mm-hmm. So one of those times that I left, I was 18 and was selling drugs and our door got kicked in. Mm-hmm. So that was when it started. And I ended up going back, but when I went back, I ended up getting pregnant. So, and I was back in the abusive relationship, and I was trying to fight the case, and I had to do like classes, NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and still in the abuse. So, because he was so jealous, I had to go on the run. He wouldn't he didn't like the fact that I was going to these classes and there were other dope boys and men there. So he just thought, and even in one of those times I was telling somebody, he tried to run me over at one of those narcotic places. Wow. And I was pregnant already. So I went on the run and then moved to San Antonio, and I had my son. I'm still on the run, and I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if I caught another case or something. And my son was finna start pre-K, kindergarten, one of those. And I had to go to court. And the judge gave me 2 years. And I was trying to fight it because I was like, my son's finna start school. Like, I don't want to miss my child's first day of school. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, there's nothing we have to offer you anymore. You should have thought about that before you went on the run. So they offered me, it was 5 years, but my lawyer got it down to 2 years. Deferred, which means I did my time and came out, and it wasn't supposed to be on my record. but I ended up getting in trouble before because they gave me a time to turn myself in. So in that time, I dropped off the kids with the dad and the grandma in San Antonio, and I was still doing me. And then finally, I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn myself in, and I turned myself in, and I sat in Del Valley for like 6 months. And the rest of my time, they shift me out. But because it's such a short time, I stayed at the transit unit because it's not enough time for them to ship me off, and then
By the time you
it
get
would be
there,
a
you'll be coming
turnaround.
back.
Correct.
Yeah.
It would just be a turnaround. So, yep, I walked into Woodman Jail, which is in Gatesville, or prison in Gatesville, and I was there the rest of my time, and that was it was an experience. You know, I like I said, everybody. I was always confident. So even like I bet my best friend there. So and she was like, if she tell you the story, she'll probably comment on it. She's like, you walked in like you was just confident, like you was like your stuff didn't stink, like you was just walking up in there like yeah,
Like she was here for a party.
yeah. And what's crazy was I seen it that way. I had a release date, so
Yeah.
I seen it that way.
I'm not here for a long time, just a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, you know, I started, like, people found out I braided hair, and that was a good and a bad thing. You know, some people didn't like that I braided hair because that was their way they made money. And I just did it for fun. I didn't do it like I need money. I was just doing it for fun. So that brought good and bad intentions. And then my kids went through some things out in the free world.
At this point, you
affected
had
me.
all 3 kids.
All 3 kids. That affected me in there. So that made it hard. That time became hard, and I got sent to SEG my last 49 days, which means like you're isolated from everybody. They move you, and it's just me in a room, a pen, a Bible, and paper, and that's it.
Is that like when you get into segregation, did that shift your mindset? Because going in there, it was fun, and you're just here
Well,
for
it was
a while.
fun at first, and then I got this news, which was really
About your
impactful
children.
about my children. And I hated everybody and everything. So I was always arguing with different girls, the COs, like the officers. I did not listen to them. Like I was always out of order. If I wanted to use the restroom, I'm using the restroom. Like I don't care what y'all say. I was doing what I wanted to do because I was so upset. And finally, they were like tired of me. They're like, "You're finna go back there."
Yeah.
So back there, which now I know what it means, but that's where I read my first Bible book at, which was the Book of Job.
Yeah.
And actually, like right before that, before they sent me to say, I felt the Holy Spirit for the first time because people were praying over me because it was bad. Like the news that I got was so horrible, and for days, if I wasn't angry, I was like crying, so like heavy crying and sobbing and just crying in my bed because it was like bad news. And people were praying for me because they weren't used to seeing that. I was always like energetic and, you know, like happy and outgoing, and I was just like, it wasn't me no more. And so when I went back there, I read my first Bible book. So I had already felt the Holy Spirit, didn't know what it was. And then I read the Book of Job in there. But, I mean, we were locked down like 23 hours. They only let you out to shower. And that's like, I mean, if you're lucky, 10 minutes. And then go right back.
Wow. And how long did you stay there? 45 days? you said?
49 days.
49 days.
Because I had 50 days before
By
I came
yourself.
home. And then I had 49 days that I was in there. And then I got released from back there. So when I came home.
Wow.
I could not even like I didn't had no idea of this. And so when you say you felt the Holy Spirit for the first time, was that like where you I know a lot of like my husband, for example, like that's where he found Christ in prison, and when he was incarcerated, that's whenever he got baptized and he read
Yeah,
the Bible.
so
Yeah.
I never read the Bible when I was out in population. Like I didn't care about that. Now I did go to like revivals. Churches did come and we did have revivals or church. I did do that to get out the dorms. Like, I didn't do it because I was like, oh, I know who God is, or I want to know who He
It was
is.
like free time.
Yeah, it was like, I'm going to get up out of here.
pass,
Which
yeah.
most times we didn't get stripped because anytime you went out to do something, when you came back, you got stripped. So that's the only thing I was like, I got to get stripped if I want to go out and do this. But
And that was to make sure y'all weren't putting
bringing nothing
anything
back or, just transferring things. And then anything, even like food, when we go to chow, which is going to eat, they'll check you then. And it was random sometimes.
to make sure y'all weren't
Bringing back
confiscating
food
their
because
spoons.
people would bring back food. Yeah, and, well, it was all plastic, but they would bring back food.
I know they could do damage
So-
with some plastic.
Y'all,
the cookie
excuse my
packs?
ignorance, because I'm like, they stealing food?
Yeah, so you'll take the packs, like, because commissary has cookies, you know, a lot of stuff. So you'll take those packs back with you to the chow room, and whatever meat it is, you'll pour it in that, and then hide it on
And
you.
then they can like melt plastic.
And then you
dress
go back and make a spread later on because dinners are like 4 o'clock.
We're hungry.
Yeah.
That's true.
So then you'll go back and do a spread, which, I mean, it was an experience. I never went back, thank God. But and I think that was more because of my kids. I was like, I don't ever want to leave them alone again. So I never went back. But I don't even think I caught another case no more after that. Because I had been catching cases since I was 11 years old. And in juvenile, and then I would be okay, and then got older and was, 17, because at 17 now they take it to Del Valley. So I had like assault and weed cases. But
That's why the judge said there's nothing I can do for you to
So
warn.
then that was because it was like a big group, a very known group of people they were watching. So I was in the house and there was pictures and a lot of stuff that they already had.
Yeah.
And people had already signed their time. I went on the run and people were getting caught up, they were already signing their time. So even then, they couldn't ask me to snitch or nothing because there's nobody to snitch on or anything, or there's nothing to offer me. So they're like, everybody, you're the last one. So this is what we can offer you.
Do you think, and I ask this because I feel like how you're describing, like you had an assault and drug charges, it's so common now. Like so many people think like they can just go out and be violent or fight or do all these things because it's quote unquote normal. And then drugs, like it's normal, like people do it. But when you get in trouble for it, like it's really not legal, so you can get in trouble for it. But when you were in there, do you think that prison itself made an impact on you? Or from what I'm hearing, it's more of what your family had to go through, what your kids had to go through when you couldn't be there. Like prison, not so much versus I couldn't be with my kids. Is that what impacted you
were out
to
of your
not go back?
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't say the choices that I made when I came home were any different.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was just more mindful of how I was moving and who I was moving with. Because I changed from a whole different circle of people that I was running with and did it different.
Yeah.
So I was still selling drugs and doing what I wanted to do, but it was different this time.
You
But
knew how to be careful
unfortunately,
now. Like
yeah, but my kids did live in the trap house. Like, so that's what now dealing like with the lifestyle that I raised them in. I didn't come to church until my kids were like teenagers already. So I remember even coming to church and seeing everybody's kids there, and I'm like, my kids could never.
yeah.
Like they went because they're so used to a different lifestyle, and they were like not understanding of the lifestyle. Me paying tithes. Like, why is you giving them our money? And, one of my sons said I was in a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was different for them. They were not used to that.
So whenever you said when you were in is that?
Say.
Yeah, okay. And you read the book of Job. Like, what made you go to Job?
I have no clue. And later on, now in life, I'm like, he lost everything. That's how I felt. So I get emotional because even me not knowing, like I always say, I didn't know God. I never like had God in my life. Nobody, but He was always with me, and I didn't even know it. Like, why the book of Job when there's so many other books? Like, why that book? But in that moment, I felt like I lost everything, and I was like, I'm in here, can't do nothing for my kids, and like again, still I didn't realize it because I didn't grow up reading the Bible or nothing. So now that I've built a relationship with Christ and I read the Bible, I'm like, dang, you were always there.
In that moment you were reading Job, what did you feel? A little bit of hope, a little bit of positivity? What did it do for you?
Probably, I think it did. That's what it did.
It was definitely a seed.
Yeah, it was. I think it helped me because at first it was very depressing, and I mean I was still angry, and then the rest of the days were like smoothly. Like, I mean I was joking around and
You were able to finish out your time.
Yeah, without being angry like I was when I first went in there.
Wow. So he was helping you finish out your time.
Yeah.
So when you came out, what happened? Why didn't you keep writing the Bible? Reading the Bible. Not writing it.
I'm like, man, I'm gonna
already written.
the
The book of Crystal. Reading it. Why didn't you keep reading it?
Because nobody did it around me. Like,
Yeah.
coming home, I had to go get my kids from San Antonio, and that was hard because the kid's dad was still trying to be with me. And we had already been separated, but I guess he found that opportunity, like, oh, she's going to come out with nothing. And I wasn't talking to my mom, my sisters, nobody. So I ended up having to leave my kids there because he wouldn't give me my kids. And I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm not dealing with this another day of my life. So I left without my kids back to Austin. And nobody wanted to take care of no kids and their mom was out. So they were like, we gonna bring you them kids.
Yeah.
So they gave me my kids back. And like I said, I went back to doing exactly what I left from doing, just different. And this time it was like definitely grind mode because I didn't have I had my dad's side of the family, but again, I wasn't always vocalizing what I was going through. And a lot of people know me, like, Crystal's a hustler. She's going to go get it. She's going to provide. Like, I remember even asking my mom, like, why don't you ever help me?
Yeah.
And she was like, because I know that you're going to go provide.
Yeah.
Like, you're strong enough to go do it. And my sister, I guess, like her saying she wasn't, which I guess that was the difference between us. Like, I wasn't going to let my kids go without. No matter what I had to do, I was going to go do it.
Wow.
And where was the turning point for you? Like, whenever, okay, so you got a person, you kept on doing what you were doing, but when was that turning point that you're like, you know what, I gotta do, like, I need to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like,
And you mentioned they were teenagers, so a lot of time
my
had passed.
first, it was an encounter with God. My very first, which came like randomly weird, because I sold drugs all the way to the moment I came to church. So it's only been like almost like 4.5 years that I stopped selling drugs. And I thought I was going through like God isolated me, and I stopped answering my phone for people, my family, best friends, everybody. And it's just the people who got to see me when I went out to stores was only like, that's the only conversations that got out of me or got to see me. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And I felt like I was depressed, but there was nothing wrong in my life. And then people started like assuming things like my relationship, like, is he isolating her, or because I didn't go nowhere, and it was just me, him, and the kids. Like,
And
whatever
they'd seen
we
that
did
before, though, from your
so
abuse.
whatever I did with my family was just us. And then I was isolated, and God told me to, like, I didn't even know if it was him or not, but I knew that he told me to read the book of Proverbs now. And I was just like, okay. So I was always in the room and reading the Bible, and I didn't even know what I was reading. And then, because after that, he told me to go live and do it. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be telling. Like, what am I going to do? And, again, I didn't know it was God, but I knew it was God.
But you can feel and
Like,
hear
something was different. Yeah, and something was telling me to do it because my own, like me, I wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to read the Bible on live.
Yeah.
And,
Were you already in the church?
so.
You had already gone to church?
No.
No. This was way before
Way
that.
before the church. I was, he isolated me. I think this was like COVID or right after COVID, somewhere around there. And, I started going live, and what's crazy was I got a phone call from Laura, and I've been knowing Laura for years. She was actually my kid's dad's, her aunt was dating their dad, the kid's grandpa. So that's how I met Laura originally. And then she called me, she's like, God told me to buy you these containers, and I struggle with being organized. So me now having like, okay, I can hear God. He's telling me to do this, and her calling me and telling me God told me. I was just like, okay, well, nobody knows that I struggle. If you don't know me, you don't know that I struggle with organizing things. So something told you that. And she was
nowhere.
like, yeah. And then I don't talk, like, we lost contact years ago. And then she was like, I'm not trying to say you broke or nothing. I'm not trying to disrespect you.
That is kind of random. Like,
Yeah.
hey, God told me to buy you some containers.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I don't
you or
really
heard
know
from you,
you.
but
Yeah.
get your life in order.
And we do know Laura, so hey, Laura.
Laura.
Definitely spirit led.
It was. And I was like, well,
Wow.
I told her at that time, like, what's crazy was I was looking at her Facebook and I seen she had like labels on her little things for her cakes. You know, she bakes cakes, and y'all go support her business. And so I was like, yeah, go ahead and make them by. She brought them by. We talked for a little bit. So I was scrolling through Facebook. Some time went by, and I was like, she was at church, and I was like, man, cause so how old was I? Like 26 years old. Somebody invited me to church. And I ended up walking into the wrong church, which was the first church where I actually knew that, like, felt the Holy Spirit. I got my gifts of speaking in tongues because I didn't know what any of that was. And that was Grace Covenant Church. And I was there, but again, I was not, like, there was no relationship with Christ. This is before the encounter or anything. I just walked in there and somebody invited me to church. The kids loved it, and we were going, like, at least 2 times a month or something, and then they had to move locations to Manor. And because there was no relationship with Christ, I'm not gonna go. I'm not going over there.
Wow.
And again, I was selling drugs, doing my own thing. So then rewind all those years, because what was it, 4 years ago? So like 21 or so, 22. Laura calls, and then I watch her live, and I'm like, man, I want to go back to church. Like, I remember liking being at that church, and the worship. It was, you know, live worship, and I just loved it. And I kid y'all now, some hours went by, and Laura called, and she said, I want to invite you to church. And I was just like, I just broke down crying because I was like, God is real. Like, can't nobody tell me. And coming from me not knowing God or any relationship, and people who knew God would like kind of like talk down on like what I was hearing, or some people were like, you can't hear from God, you know, God don't talk to us. And I'm just like, I don't care what y'all say. Somebody is talking to me, and I know what I know.
And it ain't the crazy voice I'm used to hearing.
yeah. So she invited me to church. At the time, I had a car wreck, so I didn't have a car. And her husband, either, because they had 2 cars, like, she would come get me, or they would come with their family, and her oldest son would drive the other car. But they made a way to take me to church. And I was still, you know, 1 foot in, like, going with her, kind of like just trying to see what it was like, and still doing my own thing. I was still smoking weed and popping pills. I don't know what I said. But I was still doing me. And
You can say it, just don't flag us.
yeah, don't flag us. Sorry.
Abusing.
Using medications. And I remember seeing Banji. I braid hair, so I was at the shop, and I don't even know if we were smoking out there or what, but I just know she was like, "Hey, Crystal," or something. She wrote down her window or something. I'm like,
I was trying to go to Little Caesars.
yeah.
X that out. Beep, beep, beep. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that name. But I was trying to get some pizza. And I was like, hey, I know her. Yeah, my husband just stopped right there.
Yeah.
And I jumped out.
I had talked to her, and then
You showed me your chair.
Yeah, I took her in. I showed her my area. And then I just started going to connect groups after that. And that was different because growing up, I didn't talk to many girls, didn't trust no girls.
And we probably sounded real churchy.
Yeah. No.
At this point.
Well, connect groups are like connect groups is a group of women that get together,
Or men.
Yeah, and they just read the word and
Fellowship. Support each other.
Yeah.
so that's
start doing
what
life
connect
together.
group is.
Yeah. So
But
it
did
was
we sound real churchy when you first started coming?
Kinda, because it was a
I feel like we're down to
diversity.
earth, though.
Yeah, because it was a diversity of people.
Yeah,
So
but our language changes over time, so it's interesting because I've never asked you that. Like coming
Yeah.
from
Like
the
a
street
new
into
person, yeah.
group.
yeah, I was just. I mean, I don't, because I'm very like open and like I'm not judgmental like to where I'm like, oh no, like this ain't like I'm open to things.
Yeah.
So I went in there like, okay, what's
With
this
an open
about?
mind.
So
But were we talking like, I don't even know what they're saying. You know?
oh
like,
yeah,
were
definitely.
you
Especially when y'all
confused?
got with the Bible, and I didn't even know that y'all were doing Sunday services. You know, going over that, I just thought y'all were just teaching about the Bible and stuff. So
She's like, what we reading today?
Yeah, I was just showing now. I mean, I think I didn't catch on to like last year or so, year and a half. Like, oh, they go over Sunday service.
What really caught your attention though, joining a group of women that you would have not normally joined?
So around that time, I was going through a depression stage. And since I was younger, my mom would try to get me through counselings. And I would be like, I am not talking to these people. Like, some were old ladies, different race. And I was just like, like, I'm not talking to these people. I'm not doing this. So when I started going through that depression stage, I went to try to seek a counselor. And I was still like, this ain't gonna work. Now I'm growing. I'm still like, no, I can't just be talking to these people. And so I started going there, and it just felt comfortable. And there was times that people that I knew came in, like into the groups. You know, even if it was like one time or a few times. And the more we talked, the more it was just like okay to cry, to voice things out. I was going through a lot with my kids. Just trying to get off the drugs and the partying and all of that consumes you so much that we don't understand that until you finally let go of that and you're like, dang, because we supposedly do it to either have fun or to cover up a problem we're dealing with. But it only gets worse, right? Because you might argue with other people, add more fuel to the fire. And I wasn't understanding that until I got off the drugs. And it was like, going to these groups, it felt good, and I could be myself, and the conversations were different, like the support was different. So I remember I have a counselor now, which is my goal counselor, and she's seen the big difference. I mean, she cried the last time I talked to her. She's like, you're a totally different person than when I met you 5 years ago. And I remember telling her, like, because she's like, how's counseling going? She's the one that set me up with counseling. And I was like, I don't think I need it. And she's like, are you sure? I was like, well, I'm going to this group through a church and I kind of like it and it's helping me. So I want to try that for a while and see how that goes. And she was like, okay, well, just let me know.
On that part, I just want to stop really quick because we are always talking about if you need therapy, go to therapy. If you need counseling, like anything like that, we're always advocate about go get the help. But you're talking about now
Spiritual help.
yes, and
Yeah,
it's
that's what helped
I want to
me.
point that out to the listeners because there are people watching that they're like, I know I need therapy. I know it's going to be good for me. I know I should do it. But you're in this point where I don't know if I can tell those people all my problems. I don't know if I can talk to them real open, honest, because you also came from a spot where I'm going to do these things different now. I'm going to watch my back. I'm going to watch who I talk to. I'm going to watch who I surround myself with. And then you're like, oh, go tell a therapist everything.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
It's not. It's
So
not.
yeah.
And
when
then I'm
you're
dealing with my
watching-
kids. So
Yeah.
it's like, you can't really know me because I'm not trying to have my kids snatched from me or anything.
Yeah.
Ooh, that part.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
You
So
have
I
to be
wanna
careful
point
what
that
you
out,
say
yeah.
so they don't report
Because
you.
there's people
Correct.
watching that
Wow. 'Cause
relate
they have to report
that.
that.
Yes.
They have to report it if
That's
your
right.
child is
Wow,
in
I didn't
danger.
even think about that.
So I wouldn't. I mean, what can I tell you?
Yeah.
I can't tell you I'm using drugs. I can't tell you I'm selling drugs. So
So you're gonna cost you.
I can't tell
you.
you I'm
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah,
because
exactly. You're gonna find every reason to call the people on
Wow, I
you.
didn't even think about that part. Wow.
So I didn't. I was like, no. But going to the Women's Connect group really helped. And even then, like I said, it wasn't much of the Bible that I was paying attention to at that time. It was just having that different type of support. And I don't know, it really helped. And that's why now when I speak of anything, I'm always wanting to invite people to the Connect groups.
Yeah.
I'm like, it really helped me. And I know if it can help me, it can help anybody else.
So, after a certain amount of time, what was like that real transformation? Because you said even when you came to the church, you were still doing da 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 da.
Yeah, so I want to say probably like 2 years ago. For some reason, like the taste of wanting to smoke weed just left. Like I didn't want to do it no more. And I remember trying it for the last time, like 2 years ago. Somebody I was close with had a loss in their family, and I was with them, and they were like smoking, and I had already quit, but I was like trying to be supportive, and we were riding, and I smoked, and I was just like, oh no, I don't want this feeling. I don't want to be high. Like, give me some food. Like, I don't want to.
Take it away.
Yeah. And I was like,
Mission.
yeah, like, give me some food. Like, I know food helps. Like, I want to eat. I don't want. And then after that, I never did it again, which was so weird to everybody. Like, I come from just a lot of my friends, family members smoked, and like they would be passing the blunt around, and I would like no. And I mean, another month, next week, like, and I'm like no. And even now, they're like, you really stopped smoking.
Like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm just gonna try one last time.
And it was not because I'm going to church.
Yeah.
It was nothing like that.
the
Because
desire
some
was
people try
removed.
to do that, like, oh, because she goes to church. And I was like,
right.
no. I was going to church high plenty of times. So it was not because I'm going to
Trust
church.
us, we knew.
I'm like, you went up for prayer.
We felt it.
It wasn't because I was going to church. It was God just took that desire out of me. And I think it was because I've always had goals and dreams. And I have a goal counselor, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I was voicing that out to God because now I'm going to church and I kind of know, like, okay, like pray, ask God, tell God. And I don't think I just had a relationship like at that time, but I was starting to know, like, he's real. He has to be real.
Yeah.
Like it's something.
You're getting to know him more and more.
Yeah. So I remember voicing it out. Like, I want to do more with my life. I want to prosper in life. And even my whole thing was like, what is my purpose in life? Those were my main questions to God. What is my purpose? When I went to my first encounter, I'm like,
So your
I'm here to know my
mind shift
purpose.
literally started changing.
Yeah, it started changing. And then the pills left also with that. I was like, when I did like pop a pill or something, I remember it took days to come back to my normal self. And God was telling me, like, because I would be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, God. And he would be like, that's the choice you made. Like, you said you want to do this and this and that, but this is what you're doing. And I was just like, ooh. Like, it's just, the way that he checks us, it's like so humble, but so like straight to the point. Like, that was your choice.
Yeah.
Do you if that's what you want to do, but this is what you told me you wanted in life.
And look at where
How
this
are
is getting you versus this.
Like, how many days have you been delayed?
Yeah.
And at that time, I was like going live for my little business because I started crafting. I braided forever, but now I started making T-shirts and stuff, and I couldn't.
I'm like, if you need any.
Oh,
Zoom in, editor.
ChatBT, find me on Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram,
all of
all
the
of them.
platforms.
Call me.
Go like and subscribe to her page.
So it started hitting me like, I want more in life. I don't want to be delayed no more. So, it was my thing now.
And I think more like that you were going to the groups and building your relationship with Christ. So we do things like smoke and medication to numb us. You didn't need to be numbed. You were being healed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That part. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that part. When did God start healing your heart?
My first encounter, I had a lot of grudges against my parents. That I knew I didn't like them, but I didn't know it was like impacting me.
Yeah.
So yeah, my dad I kind of did, but I was confused. Like, I always gave him his flowers for being there for my sisters because he was great to them, but lacked my whole life. So I remember like every time that I drank with my uncles and stuff, I would like dog my dad, and they were like, "Have you told him this?" And I'm like, "No, for what?" And so I went to my encounter, And there's a moment where it's like the father's hug, and I was like, I voiced it, and it opened up that door for me to realize I am hurt. Like, this is bothering me. Because then I started realizing, hold on, ain't no man in my life ever loved me correctly. And like, I've been through so much, and that's when I just started letting it out. And again, it opened up that door to saying I'm hurt and I want to be better. Like, I don't want to feel this way. So then they have us like kind of like the 12 steps, right? You start like looking back at who hurt you, what are you healing from. And I started writing letters. And even though at this time I couldn't stand my mom, I wrote her a letter and bought her flowers and took them to her. And in that letter, I was like, I don't want a relationship with you, but I forgive you. And I asked for forgiveness. Like, if I did something to hurt you or damage you, like, I'm sorry. And I didn't even care to hear from her. Like, and she knew she couldn't call me. Like, so I think she voiced it to my sister or something. Like, I miss her or something like that. But I still was like, I don't want a relationship with you. And I remember being told, like, if I didn't feel like conviction, like something like I'm wrong, then it's nothing wrong with it. And I didn't feel that because she did do a lot of things that hurt me. And I felt like once I started healing, I started knowing how to love her. Even when she did everything, whatever she did that I was upset about. So it was a process, but now we're in a whole better place. Because I started healing. And I wasn't no more looking at what they did to me or what they didn't do for me. It was more like, I want to heal. And when the process of that, I started realizing I was a bad mom. And I wasn't loving my kids correctly. So then I started apologizing to them. So that was like another level of healing, another place that healed me. Because I think their teenage years, that's when they start voicing out what they feel. And that was going to church.
Voicing it or acting it.
Correct. So it was in between both. It was in between, both. Like, I'm going to church now, and they're voicing it. So it was a rough spot. I remember going to connect groups crying all the time because it was always something going on, but it had to happen. Like, those tears were not in vain because it was going through my healing process. And then from there it went to the relationship part because I was with somebody for like 11 years and it was back and forth, toxic. Like, both of us were wrong at so many times in life in those years that I started like separating myself slowly because every time we made up to break up, it were horrible breakups, like toxic breakups. And then I started trusting God. Now I had a relationship with Christ. Now I knew how to talk to him. Now I knew that he was always with me and I can always talk to him about everything. So by this time, God, like, I can hear and know that it's God talking to me. And he was telling me how to do things, how to move, what needs to be separated, how I need to do things. And that just opened up like the rest of the stuff that needed to be healed out of me. And like, even now, I tell people all the time, I'm at peace. Like, I am truly at peace. I'm happy with the choices I've been making. I'm like, I trust God with my like, it gets hard at times, like 11 years, and we're still like friends and we still communicate, and I'm still leaving it to God. Like, that's my thing to him. Like, if you're for me, something's gonna happen. And God showed me that. Like, in this year, be faithful to me. And I will heal you or remove what has to be removed out your life. And that's the journey I'm on now. Like,
Giving him a full dedicated year.
Yeah, like, it's just about me and God. Like, nobody else interrupting that. Now, including my kids, because they're grown. So all my kids are of age now. So, I mean, of course, we're always mom, and I'm always like doing something. But I know now how to separate it and tell them, like, hey, y'all made these choices. Because I didn't kick my kids out. They moved out on their own. So it's like,
I know I did this, but now you are making choices.
Yeah, and I can't, like, my life can't evolve around y'all still. I want to be supportive. I want to help. But this is my time right now. And I think this year, because I heard God clearly, it's very important that I align with God and what He wants for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I really want to know, like, what is your plans for my life? I'm tired of doing it my way, and my way just don't ever work.
Yeah.
I know.
So-
sorry.
okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So you went from healing the relationship between your parents or your mom, your kids, then your significant other. So now you're in the phase of healing your relationship with you.
Yeah.
Figuring
Getting
out
to
who
know
you are.
me again. Yeah, so I take like some
Getting
years
to know yourself
back
again, or getting to know yourself who you are meant to be.
who I was meant to be, because I never do nothing by myself. Like
Or you didn't used to.
Yeah, 3 years ago, God had told me to go eat by myself. I cried. I literally sat at that table crying, and I was like, "Why am I sitting here by myself?" And I was just like,
This is dumb.
I don't
I
know
feel
how
dumb.
to be by myself.
Yeah.
So I have gone, I think 2 years for Valentine's, was the second time that I went to an arcade game thing by myself.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to go to a museum by myself, but I did open up the invitation, like whoever can and whoever, because I mean, I feel like it's important for women or people just to know, like, it's okay to be yourself and go find out, because I've been busy. My kids are back to back. So I've been busy being mama and relationships and being hurt and damaged. Now I'm like, I want to go out and do things and get out of my comfort.
In a healthy way.
Yeah, in a healthy
Figure out
way.
what I like, don't like.
Yeah, like I've been trying to learn how to skate, or I mean, I know how to skate, but like,
She wants to do moves.
yeah, like R&B, like serving. I went to the museum. Like now, I'm just like,
And even though you opened it up, it was more to support other single
Yeah.
women.
correct, because I
And
feel
show
like
them.
that's what God has been showing me. He's aligned me with so many women who are single or maybe dating, and the relationships were like my old relationships. So I don't know why. I know that there's a bigger purpose at the end of this.
Yeah.
But He's aligning me with these type of women, and I just want to, like, I see that I can encourage them, because a lot of them do kind of like reach out, like you're
It's identity. They're trying to figure out their
Yeah.
identity, and God's got you on this journey of you figuring out who you are through Him. So why not share it with others?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
why He
Because
keeps
that's
putting
what
them in
I
your
want.
path,
I
'cause
want
that's
them
what
to be
they're
healed.
missing.
I
Yeah.
want them to know
what they're
that
missing.
it can happen. Because for so long I didn't know about this part.
Yeah.
I didn't know what healing looked like, and it was just, this is my life. This is all my family's like this. I grew up like this. That was my
That's all
thing.
you
This is
know.
where I come from, and
This
now
is who I'm
I'm
going to
like,
be. This is what
Yeah.
it is. That's it. You don't even know any other world.
Yeah. You can't do
Yeah.
what you don't know.
You're in
Correct.
culture. You
Correct.
don't know outside of your comfort zone.
And if you are in that season of your life right now, like I think we've talked about it before, when we were in our single season, somebody had recommended to me, like, yes, go eat by yourself, do the museum by yourself. But they had told me, find something you like. For me, it was bakeries. I love bakeries. If it's libraries, if it's fried chicken, I don't care what it is. Find places in different areas and go to those. Try different bakeries, try different libraries, grab a coffee and sit in a cafe.
Yes,
Find what you like and make it a habit to do those things by yourself.
Yeah.
Enjoy your own company.
Yeah. I'm married, and God told me to do that.
Yeah.
Just because for identity purposes, like, who are you outside of this relationship
Yep.
you've always been in? So I had to try things that I didn't even like because
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the heck I liked. I didn't have any hobbies, interests, desires, dreams, goals, nothing. I'm starting from scratch.
Yeah, because I've asked other women, like, because like a lot, like people who are even struggling financially, I'm like, what do you like to do? What are you into? Because that's how I make most.
And
I
how
made
can
most of
you
my
build a
money
business?
all
Yeah.
my life was
Yeah.
doing things I like to do.
Yeah.
So I asked them. They're like, nobody's ever asked me that, and they don't even know.
They don't know what
That's
that
They
where I
don't
was.
know.
I did not
Yeah,
know.
and some are older than me.
I didn't
And
know
they're
I
like,
like
I don't
bakeries.
know.
I don't even bake.
I sold weight loss products. I started doing crafting, and I bought a whole machine. And I was like, this is too much weeding.
Yeah.
I need to charge $50 for this shirt.
Yeah. It gets like that. Yeah.
But yeah, trying to figure yourself out. Like, what do
Yeah.
I like? What don't I
And
like? I don't even
especially
know.
how you want to be loved. You know, like if you don't even
Yes.
love yourself, you know, like
How do you know? Yeah.
how do you know how you want to be loved? You know,
Yeah.
and that's something that when I was single, when I was in my healing,
What is love?
yeah,
Right. And honestly,
What
that's
the
what it
heck
comes
does
down
that
to.
look
it's
like?
just like
Yeah.
how. But whenever you said you started healing relationships, and then started then yourself. You know, mine was the
Yourself was
other way.
last.
Yeah, mine was the other way around. I was just kind of like, I felt like I have poured so much out for other people that didn't value it, and now it's just like, who am I? Like,
Yeah.
so then
you started out with
after
yourself.
I healed myself, and I went, you know.
But
to
I was
different-
like, I think mine was backwards because I was selfish with me. So I remember going to my first encounter and they're like, "This is your time to be selfish," and I'm like, "I'm always selfish with me."
She was like,
No,
don't tell me
it's
twice.
always about me first,
Yeah.
and then everybody else.
So God was
Including
humbling
my
you,
yeah,
doing it
including my
backwards.
kids. Yeah, so it had to go backwards for me because it was always what I want, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
And now I'm like everybody else, and then me.
Yeah. See, God speaks to us different. Healing looks different
Yeah.
everyone.
for everyone.
Yes.
You know, like it's not gonna look the way that Crystal healed or Casey or myself or Vange. You know, it's gonna look different for each and every single
Yeah.
one of us. And you know, we're different. We're not the same person. You know, so we all went through different traumas. We all grew up different. The upbringing. You know, like so. But at the end of it, I feel like what I'm hearing, the end goal is healing. You know,
Yes.
and in order to go through it, you have to peel those layers.
Yes.
You know, you have to detect the problem. You know, like and heal that and seal it. Not just put a band-aid over it. You know, actually healing.
You know, a
Yes.
counselor told me, which the one I did find that I was going to, but it made a lot of sense and it always stuck with me, because I started having anxiety with the depression, and I remember being rushed to the hospital a lot of times because I couldn't breathe, but I didn't know I was having panic attacks. So then they were like, "Is your mouth going numb? Is this?" And they're like, "That's a panic attack. That's not an asthma attack." So that's how I started going into the counseling, looking for counseling and stuff, because I was on the drugs to help with
Yeah.
that or whatever. But I was drinking, so it didn't mix together. So a counselor told me that the reason I was having like these anxious feelings, she said, for one, they said I was a runner. So every time that I dealt with a problem, I ran. I didn't face the problem.
Which is your defense mechanism.
Correct.
She's I'm gone.
Yeah, like after
I ain't
my
dealing with y'all.
after my
Yeah.
abusive relationship, I took that damage with me to other relationships where I had to think, because in my next relationship, as soon as his voice got loud, I took off, because I was like, I'm not gonna sit around and get hit. Like, I'm not even gonna deal with that part. And then I had to think, like, because he would like wonder where I went. And it did open up that door. Like, if somebody left like that, I would think they're seeing somebody else or something.
Yeah.
And every time that things got real, like to conversate, and again, it was from another damaged person, so it's a lot of
Right,
yelling, and
yeah.
and I was like, oh no, I gotta go for it. You try to put your hands on me. So that counselor said, for when I was a runner, for 2, they said, imagine being in a room, and every time that you went through something, you were painting the walls a different color. Every time. She said, that room's getting smaller and smaller because you keep adding layers. So now it's time to start pulling those layers back and healing. Like, but at that time I didn't know what she was saying. I was just like, okay, whatever. But it, like, now it
I
makes
don't even like
sense.
painting. You
now,
know?
now it makes sense. I
She
was
said,
like,
just give me another whole room.
yeah, that part. I was like, oh, I can just go to the next room. So it made sense. And
So you're still on a journey of peeling back all those colors.
correct, yeah. And I mean, now it's like back to, I guess, like being born again. You know, in Christ, you're born again, and now I get to build that new person into who I am, who I was called to be, what my purpose is, what is Crystal like.
Yeah.
And even though I went through a lot, and I was 18 when I had my first kid, but having to spend the rest of my life raising kids that were back to back, now it's like, it's about me. Now it's a perfect opportunity. Time, everything aligned to this time. I got to know who Christ is. I have a relationship with Christ. I'm by myself. So I mean, there's a lot that God can do in my life if I allow Him to.
Yeah.
You know, if I let Him in and listen to Him.
Yeah.
I could only imagine what
You
could
know,
happen from there.
I know. When people come to Christ, they feel like, or they think it's a genie in a bottle and stuff like that everything's gonna be perfect. That
overnight, real quick.
yeah, it's overnight. Like, what challenges did you face throughout this season? Like, what did you go? Because I mean, I know we were seeing like you're like, okay, this is this, but it hasn't been easy, and people need to know that it's gonna.
It's not, because
and your challenges are
for one, the flesh is weak. So even like in relationships, like the sex, I was around drugs. A lot of times. So it was even like, do I want to, smoke? My kids, for a moment, because the Bible says we gotta learn how to, to be silent sometimes, and I didn't know how to be that. And especially not with my kids. Like, no, sir, you're not going to yell at me. So I remember, now I'm like reading my Bible, building a relationship with Christ. And me and my middle son used to be beefed up all the time. And I would like start praying in the middle. Instead of like yelling and cussing and throwing everything the way he was doing it, I would just start praying. So after a while, he would like mock me. And he would be like, all you going to do is cry. And all you going to do is go pray. And I was like, I am, or whatever. But before me and my kids can, like right now we're in a good space, but before we can get there, it's like they were tearing me up because I was trying to be a different mother. I was trying to parent different. I was very abusive verbally, physically, and I had to learn how to, I was being quiet now, and they seen that as a weak spot. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, well now we finna do this, because I wasn't trying to do that no more. Mm-hmm. So that was very hard for me. The forgiveness part, like I said with my mom, like I was fighting that. I did not want that. And I was like, I don't like her. I don't like this. She did that. And it was hard. Like for me, it was like mentally, it was a battle. Mm-hmm. Because I knew who Christ was. And I know what the Bible says. And
but you were fighting it.
I did not want that. I was like, no, she did this, she did that. Yeah, I was wrestling with God, and I wasn't allowing him like to let me heal. And I went through a lot. A lot of people
always say like, I forgive them, I can love them from afar. And that's true.
Yeah.
But did you ever find yourself?
Yeah, but it's not true healing, because that's what I was doing. And I still had that hate. Mm-hmm. Like, even when I came around her, I was just like, I just got to be nice because God's watching me. No.
I got 30 minutes to be nice.
So, yeah. But inside, I was, and again, healing is for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, in the inside, I'm like burning up, angry, uncomfortable.
And that's how you
And that's my mom. You know what I mean? So, I was like, dang, I'm not healed. Like, there's something wrong. And, I mean,
was that your biggest obstacle? Was the relationship with your mom?
Yes, it was. Because for so long, she was like my biggest supporter. Like growing up, like it was always about me. And then she ended up getting into a relationship with a man who was not a good man. And I went through a lot through that relationship. That's how I ended up with the kid's dad. Because he was sexually abusive, my mom's husband. So I would run from that, and the kid's dad was available. Like, he had nobody discipline, no guidance. No, so I can run away and be with him however many days, whatever I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I was running from home to go to abuse. But I felt like this is better than that.
Mm-hmm. This abuse is better than that abuse.
Yeah. Wow. And I did that for so many years and going back and forth. So, and then, like, 13 years later, another incident happened with my mom's husband. And it just... and then I went to prison. So in the midst of all that, I went to prison first and the incident happened. So I had so much hate for my mom. Yeah. And I was ugly to her. I was really, really ugly to her. And I felt like I would never forgive her. And so that was my biggest battle, because I didn't trust her. I didn't like her. It was so many things. And I didn't think we would ever get here. But my aunt passed away. And my sister ended up voicing to me, like, we miss you. Yeah. And remember, I left the house at 13 years old. Mm-hmm. So even my sisters would be like, I knew I had a sister, but we didn't know you like that because I was always gone. Yeah. So I never really had a relationship with, even though she raised me, I didn't have no relationship with them because I left so young, and then I was going back and forth. And then to the hate, to where I cut them off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was like 2.5 years where I had no conversations with them at all.
A lot of people don't understand like what forgiveness is. Basically, you're saying like you had to make a choice.
Yeah.
Because we hear a lot of people always say like, I don't know how. I don't know how. And you're telling the truth. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I did. I
You have to choose it
You
over
have to
and
choose it
over
over and over.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do, and I mean it's still like at times, but
And you still have to choose it to
I
this
still,
day.
yeah, I still do have to. But again, it feels
not
so
as
much
hard.
better.
That's
It feels
important
so
to
much
say
better.
because people
Getting
watching are like,
easier.
no, I forgave them. Why do I still feel this way?
Yeah. Or
You-
why can't you go around them? Yeah.
Yeah. So now, I mean, like I said, my mom's back, being my big supporter. Like she supports me and everything.
She sure does. We had a garage sale. She bought everything.
Yeah, anything I do, she's like supportive, and she's always been there for the kids, even when I didn't talk to her. And I had to like really talk to my kids because I was ugly, and I was like, y'all cannot talk to her. And then I had to realize it was hurting my kids.
Yeah.
So I had to ask them, did she ever do anything to hurt you? And when they were all like, no, I was like, okay, then y'all can have that relationship. Because I can't hold other people's actions against, and that's what I was doing a lot of times, holding other
You were
people's
punishing
actions.
her for someone
Yeah.
else's actions.
Yeah. So, and then I had to understand, like, I don't know what she's been through, and her parents and skills. So me going through mines helped me understand,
She's a human.
yeah, her, like, she didn't know, and she's had it rough. So it helped me look at it in her shoes once my healing started, like,
And humanize her.
and
Yeah.
unfortunately, like, healing looks different for everybody. I'm very vocal, I'm very open, but some people are not. And she's like that. She's never told me anything she's been through. And again, we didn't have those type of relationships. So, because my sisters, I was like, you don't never know what mom went through. And I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, but I mean, I think even now, having this conversation, it's important to know that. Because I want her to heal also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Bible says, honor your mother and father.
Which I've learned how to do, because if I feel any type of way, then I'm just going to go mind my business and go to my house or get away from you.
I come back when I can honor you.
Yes, and I do that. Like,
Yeah.
I just like, okay, yeah, I can't do it.
And
my kids
this
are
is
like, Mom, you're mean.
years, and you're still
It's a
healing
whole
and
process,
growing, and it is like you don't just like have an encounter with God and have a relationship with God, and then everything changes.
No, it
and
does
it's
not.
nice.
Yeah.
It is a process.
Yeah.
Because then new things happen that add on to the old things, and you're processing the old things. Now you got to process the new things.
And I'm allowing
look.
myself to feel all the
Yeah,
old
yeah.
things that it covered up. And
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's important to be transparent with yourself.
Yes.
Because sometimes people go around other people and make it seem like they're being transparent. But it's so much more stuff deeper that they only do like the surface.
Yeah.
And
Just enough to get by.
yeah, and at the end of the day, we got to remember that's us waking up feeling that
us.
way.
Yeah.
Like,
At the end of the
everybody
day,
else
we're
is going to move
answering
on
to
with their
God.
life. Yeah, and being transparent with self includes God in that.
Yep.
Like, if you can wake up, whatever you're facing,
how did it-
give it to God, talk to Him. Yeah. Give it to God and be real transparent. That there's not a place for you to
'Cause you're
go
not
like,
fooling nobody,
I'm mad.
especially
No, what are
God.
you mad about? Like,
Yeah.
I had to learn how to
Yes.
be real with God.
Yes.
Like, I am mad because of this, and however
This,
I
this,
say it, I'm saying it to Him. And I was telling Andrew on the way here, even when I have those triggers of the enemy just wanting to attack me with things, I start confronting that trigger.
That's right.
Like, I could be washing dishes and thoughts are running through my head, and I'm like, not today, you ain't finna do this, you're not finna do that, and whatever I'm feeling, like, I just start speaking to it, and like I said, I go toe to toe with the enemy. Like, you're not finna...
Instead of carrying that emotion or that
because
feeling.
then your
and
thoughts
falling
get to
for it.
going.
Yes.
And then whatever thought was that morning, by nighttime, you're hating somebody, you're angry,
You're lashing
you're
out at
crying,
whoever
yeah,
doesn't
you're
deserve
mad,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our
So-
feelings lie to us all the
All
time.
the time, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad you said
So-
that because people just go with it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling this, and now I'm angry. And, you know,
And that's my discernment.
yeah,
No,
and
it ain't.
they hear stuff, God told me.
Yeah.
No.
That's people's favorite line. God told me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But God would not make you angry like that.
No,
Or
no.
God wouldn't hurt you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything He does comes in peace and
It does.
calmness and patience. So
It does.
all that chaos and emotions, yes.
That's all you.
Confront
That's all
it.
you. So you gotta, yeah.
Something
just,
that
yeah.
stands out through this conversation is like I hear you say, I choose to do this, I choose to do that. So having a choice, like even though back then you had a choice, and now that before Christ, BC, you had a choice. After Christ, you have a choice. At the end of the day, you have the choice.
You do.
You know, to either go back to your old ways or continue fighting. You know, both ways are hard.
Yeah.
They've been hard.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
both ways are hard, but the moment you said, like, I feel peace, you know, it was just like, I felt peace, and I'm like, that.
And you choose to go after that feeling versus staying in
Correct.
the other
Yes.
feeling.
Yes. Every day, that's what I wake up with. Even if it's a bad day, I'm like, no, I choose peace before I choose anything else. Because I've done everything else. I've done
Who
everything
did that?
Somebody's calling Crystal right now.
I silenced it.
So whoever you are, we're gonna get you.
Yeah.
Jennifer, let's call her out.
We keep playing a phone tag. I talked to her all day in this back and forth.
I'm like, hey girl.
But yeah, it feels
That would have been
good.
funny if you would have answered it.
I know.
What's up? No. Hey, guys.
You
You're
know,
on podcast.
to bring this to a closing, what would you tell the people, or encouraging words, whatever, that are going through this healing process? You know, that been having that tough life, you know, like, and
Yes.
they don't want it anymore, you know, and
Or maybe they don't even know they don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
You didn't know you didn't want it
Yeah.
anymore.
You didn't even know God was talking to you.
Yeah, it was so unexpected. I would say, for one, you got to build a relationship with Christ. Like, and it starts as simple as, I need you, thank you. Like, he hears those outcries that we think we're just throwing it out there. People say to the universe. He hears us, and he will meet you there. But you have that choice. He gave us a choice of free will. So you have that choice to every day, like you said, wake up and say, I don't want this no more. And like I said, my favorite thing is, are you tired? When you're tired of something, you want something different. And I'm always telling people, we've tried everything else. Why not try God? Why not give God a chance to change things for you? But that comes with discipline and obedience. And if you don't add those, then it's going to be a lot more harder. So just trust God. Be transparent with yourself. You don't owe it to nobody but you. Like, it's your life. You got to wake up this way. You got to go to sleep this way. You got to live life this way. Be transparent with yourself. Tell God everything that you're going through, open as you can be, so that healing process can start. And seek the help. Like, there's counselors, therapies, but we also have encounter weekends. We have, there's church, there's women connect groups. Get connected somewhere. Like, it don't have to be our church. Any group of women, or something that has been offered
Bible-based.
to
Find a
you,
group in your
Bible-based,
area.
faith-based. Connect with them. Give it an opportunity. And just, it changed my life. So I am praying for anybody who's been through the abuse, the prison walls, unhealthy relationships, that God, starts healing you, that you start giving God a chance to change that for you.
Yeah.
Because if he can do it for me, he'll do it for you.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yes.
I do want to make one strong point, is you not only made a choice, you put action behind it.
Correct. And that's why I said the obedience. Because that's the hardest part. Obedience is the hardest part.
Every day you
when
put
he's
action
saying
into
no
that.
and the flesh is like yes, you have to
Stick to it.
it's action. Like, you have
Because
to.
it's easy to make excuses. Oh, I've always
yeah.
been this way, or
Yeah.
I've always done that. I don't
Yeah.
know
Or I
any other
can't.
way.
Yeah.
Or I choose to go to church, but I choose not to change.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like, I'm doing all the stuff. I'm reading, I'm going to church, I'm in connect group, I'm doing this, doing that. But why
You're
isn't
not
thing
being-
changing?
Yeah, you're not being intentional.
Maybe something has to change within you, and you actually put in the work.
Correct. Yeah.
Like the movement.
Yeah. Because anybody
You didn't
can
wait
do
for
all
it
the
to
rest.
come.
No, and again, it comes to, are you tired? Like, it comes to, like, do you want something different? Like, that's what it comes with. And because if not, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
So either you want the change, or you want to repeat the cycle of, I'm okay now, I'm checking off the boxes, I go to church, and then you're still going home to, do the drugs, an abusive relationship, you being angry, and you don't want that. You're not tired. You're
And
still
God
doing
really
it.
does meet us where our personality is. So, like, Crystal was a hustler in the world. She hustles for God now. Like, she puts all her energy, her positive energy now, into outreaches, giving to the homeless, connecting with people, networking with people, trying to get businesses to come to Christ and know who Christ is so they can be blessed. Like, making a connection from people to God.
Like
and
all
before
those
she
gifts
was
she used
doing
for the
people
world.
to drugs.
Yeah. Like I was sharing, somebody last week I had a conversation with him, and I knew it was God that told him that, but he said, God told me to tell you that in the world you were the connect for a lot of people in the dope game. He said, but now you're the connect for him. Like, you're going to connect people to him. And I was doing an outreach, and I was like, man, I'm not praying. Because usually I'm going around praying for businesses. But I wasn't doing that. I was doing connecting, networking. And God did speak to me. And I was like, hold on. You don't know what I did in the dope game. I don't tell y'all what I did.
Yeah.
But that's what I middled, man, and connected a lot of people. I'm like, so I know that was God.
Yeah.
And I needed that because for a moment I felt like I wasn't doing enough that day. Like, dang, I usually pray for businesses, but he was using me in a different way. And God gave me the word resource at the end of the year for this year. So all that is coming, like, I'm seeing how he's using me. And I mean, there's levels to it, you know, and I've already done the first part. So now it's moving on to the next thing that he has. Yeah.
He's evolving you, girl. He's growing you. And yes, she has a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And she makes connections with people all the time. Single moms who need clothes for their kids or resources.
Like, just know
for
you're
help.
not alone. Like,
Yes.
I'm not sure they can tag me on here, but if not, you can find me on Facebook.
We'll
You
put
can show up to church and see me. But I like to help people, and with the connections, like, that's what they're for. You know, God gave us resources so that we can connect, and there's somebody else that's willing
She's
to
still
help.
the plug, guys.
You're in another city.
I mean, I'm just
area,
saying.
So
and
you're
He
not
took her from
alone.
that to this, and it's no different almost.
At all.
It's just clean and healthy.
Yes, so don't ever feel like you got to do things alone. Like, there is people like me who's willing to help and go that extra mile and make those phone calls and connect you to what you need.
And if you have, if you are resources in any way, or where you work, or where you volunteer, anything like that, and you want to reach out to her as well, just to update her resources, do that too. Like, different areas, different
food pantries, diapers,
And-
money to help women or men pay bills, teenage resources because she connects with the youth as well. She's a youth leader.
Like, if you have community service hours you need signed off, you can help do fun things for the community. It doesn't always have to be picking up trash on the streets. Like, I can get you connected to people who have events going on that can sign off those hours for you.
So the same encounter that she went to for her healing and some deliverance and growth, she now runs for women as well and youth.
Yeah.
So
the same thing. Like, I had a rough youth, life, and now I turn around and help with the youth, and then same thing with the women's and encounters. So.
And if you're out of state, because I know we have a lot of people that don't live here in Texas, Austin, or surrounding areas that, that want to help or anything like that. Like, you never know. Like, let's make this nationwide. You know what? That will be like something, a resource nationwide. Because. And if you're going through something, we've opened up our messages, our emails, send us emails or anything, a prayer, whatever it is.
Yes, prayer requests.
Please message us, and if you want to get connected with her, we're going to tag her. We will be tagging her information and her socials, but also, message us or...
I thought you were going to say Social Security.
I was like, oh, man.
Not her social.
Man, I'm trying to fix my credit right now.
She said, I don't need y'all doing nothing with my
social. My bad, Claudia, my bad.
Her social handles on social media, okay?
Yes.
But, Crystal, we want to thank you for taking the time and opening up, not only being vulnerable on cameras for the people that are watching, because there's a lot of people watching, you know, and it's
Yes.
just not in
We-
Texas, it's nation and the other side of the world, you know,
Countries.
like countries, different
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
We see the numbers, but can you please like, follow, share, subscribe?
Yes, share it.
We see y'all.
Yes.
Maybe on our next episode we can call out the different countries, different
Oh, yeah.
cities. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we see you, we see you.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
awesome.
Say hi,
It really is awesome.
Yes.
Well, Crystal, thank you so much, and hopefully, maybe in the future, you never know. Like this, this was a request from one of our listeners. Thank you guys. We hear y'all. I know we left it on the cliffhanger, but it wasn't intentional. Honestly, and I was even left on the cliffhanger.
And y'all really did. Y'all reached out. Y'all wanted to hear more from Crystal, so that makes us excited and happy for
Yes.
everything that's going on here.
Well, we'll be closing this episode today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, somebody that needs to hear, you know, a testimony, something that was they struggled through their childhood, through growing up, their youth years, but to let them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, we just gotta choose to keep on pushing, choose to continue to fight, choosing to heal.
Amen. Yes.
So thank you guys again for watching. We love you guys. Don't forget that you're not alone.
You're not consumed.
What do you say?
Another in the fire.
Another's in the fire.
There's another in the fire. Bye guys. We love y'all.